All right. Hello and welcome. Officially, we're moving into our 2024 planning session. I'm Jennifer Britton, and it's good to see you here. We've got some of the other Potentials Realized team members coming on in, and we're going to be going through a reflective prompt process. So, want to welcome you, whether you are here for the first time or whether you are here for an additional time. I think we'll have people slowly coming in. I want to say hi to Kathy. Hi to Stephanie. And we're going to get started in just a minute. So you're going to need a pen and a piece of paper. And this is a series of reflective prompts that we're going to be moving through as we think about our 2024 vision. Hey, Steph, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. It's great to see you. We are recording today, so we'll wait another 30 seconds or so for other people to come on in. And whether you are new to our community or seasoned, welcome. This is, I think, a really important piece of our business work, our work as human beings, starting to set the intention for a new year ahead. So I want to welcome you and invite you to join us as we move through today's conversation. It's less conversation with each other, it's more a conversation with yourself, because this is all about looking at where you want to go. And I want to say hi to Mary. Welcome, Mary. Thanks for joining
Hi,
us.
thank you.
Yeah. And so as we get started, a couple things that you'll want to have in hand. This is going to be about 30 to 40 minutes where we are going to go through 20 different prompts. As I like to say, at any time, you can go to you can go with us, or you can also sort of go backwards, stay with something we were looking at already. So the intent of vision work, I think, is really to set part of that horizon. As business owners, we want to hold it lightly, but we can also use it as that anchor. In fact, the science behind vision casting is getting more and more clear. And part of what we're doing today is actually concretizing this for you. I want to invite you to capture your ideas, your thoughts as we go through words, but also maybe images. And there may be some different ideas that really surface for you in this next 30 to 40 minutes together. We are turning 20 years old as a business next April. I can't believe how many years have gone. And the beauty of that is every year we've been doing vision work at this sort of year-end period. Today is actually November the 14th, 2023. You might be coming at this at a different time of the year. And what I love about vision work is it does create that horizontal anchor. We know from the neuroscience that it also can activate our reticular articulating system, the RAS part of our brain, which helps us sort out stimuli. Our brain is always taking in information, our eyes are always taking in information, as with our other senses. So being able to be clear on what we want to be focusing on is a big part of really navigating and flowing in today's very disrupted environment. So just want to welcome you. Let's bring your voice into chat. And I'd love for you to just share with us what's important about being here today and dedicating 30 minutes of focus to yourself. I want to just get your voice in the room before we start with these reflective prompts. But what's important about being here today and putting some focus on you? So share that with us in chat if you would like. I'll read it out before we get going. And as you're doing that, I just want to invite you to pull out that journal, whether you've used it once or whether you've used it multiple times. And if you've been with me on Vision Quest or Vision Casting, this is the book that I use regularly. So I was a little curious as I went to find it in my new location. It was there on one of my favorite bookshelves. But I also wondered, what year did I start using this? And so as I opened it, out came Vision Post-its, right? I originally started years ago using Post-its. I'll actually show you one of my years. This was 2011. So this was my vision for 2011. And what's sort of interesting is many of these things came through. And as we've gone, it's become a more expanded process. And now I'm happy to say I've got 9 years of actual vision work using an iteration of today's process. So tuck this away, whether it's in a new book or an old book. I hope that you'll return to this sometime throughout 2024. Now let's go to chat. So for different people who aren't with us, Whitney, good to see Whitney. I tend to get focused on details and forget to do the bigger visioning. I appreciate the support. You know, it might feel a little early in the year, but as the holiday season encroaches us, we just get swept up in it. So that's why we're doing it today, November 14th. This will be posted on YouTube at Effective Group Coach, and so know that you can come back to it at any time. For Stephanie, I need a refresh to breathe life back into my business. Yes. And for Mary, need clarity on which path to go on in 2024. Well, there's going to be some directive questions and there's going to be some very creative questions as well. Here's my 2021 roadmap. I hope that you'll leave today's session, which is actually going to be one of two calls that I'm hosting. We're going to do today, and then we're going to do a strategic planning session in 2 weeks. So today is really about keeping our eyes up at that broad expanse. And I hope that you'll allow yourself to dream and to think about what is possible for you, for your business, for your loved ones. As I've said, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. My pens are behind my desk here. And whether this is your opportunity to reconnect or other, Ivana's adding, for her, it's taking some time to step back and looking at the forest and not staying in the trees or weeds. So thank you for being with us today. If you really like today, here's what you can expand your thinking around. If you have a copy of Coaching Business Builder or PlanDoTrack, Section 3, there are 24 additional questions to look at vision. So for today, we're going to start with where we are, because part of coaching is about looking at where we are and then thinking about where we want to go. I'm going to be setting our timer for about 75 seconds. So this is going to be very quick, but just again, you can keep moving with us or you can stay with the last area. And we're going to start with what this year has been. So I'd love for you to take the next 75 seconds to just capture for yourself what have been your key accomplishments so far in 2023. Timer is going, and I hope that you'll enjoy this 75 seconds to reflect on what this year has allowed you to accomplish. And note that accomplishments could also be a being piece. I don't want to just say it's a check-off goal, but there might be some being elements that have been a key accomplishment for you. All right, let's get started. As coaches, we know how important it is to keep on building. So I hope that you'll keep this in mind as we think about the new year ahead. And in this 30 minutes, I hope that you'll capture your plans, your ideas for action, your goals, and other elements. Now, to set the stage, I want to give us the opportunity not to go to that question yet, but to really think about what's possible. So, as you know, my affinity for imagery. I'd love for you to take the next 75 seconds to zoom into the screen and pick an image that might have some resonance around what this new year could be or look like. You don't just have to stick with one. You can choose multiple images. You could also create your own image if something isn't there that you like. So the idea and the question truly is, as you think about 2024, what's possible? Take the next minute to just grab some images, jot them down, and trust that it might help to frame 2024. So we're going to layer this on by asking ourselves this big bold question. It's the end of 2024 and I have ... What have you done? Who have you been by the end of 2024? All right, for those just joining us, welcome. We're moving through these brief prompts and trust that you can stay with whatever question is resonant, but that these questions also build upon each other. So part of vision casting is also thinking about what is our mission? And so for this next 75-second block, want to give you an idea, give you an idea to think about your space. Are you climbing a mountain? Are you going along multiple pathways? What is your mission? And what is the mark you want to make in 2024? Maybe it's not about making a mark, but it's about standing out for yourself and standing out for the people you serve. So we're going to spend a little bit of time thinking about your mission and your why. What is the mark you want to make? We're going to stay on this, and I want you to change your focus a little bit. Maybe think about the pathway. What are going to be some core elements of the path, whether you're climbing that mountain, going through a river, hiking through a jungle? What are some of the core stops you want to make along the way? Okay, again, you can stay here or you can move to this next question, which is what is the biggest leap you need to or want to take? Part of business growth is coming out of our comfort zone. So, what is that leap that you, I think, want to take more than need to take? What's the energy? Are you pole vaulting? Are you jumping? Are you soaring? But what is that leap between where you are and where you want to be? Think about it as where you are and where you want to be. Okay, you can stay there or you can move with us. And again, it's not always a straight line. So, which of your coaching superpowers do you want to leverage in 2024? Some of you have taken the superpower quiz. If you haven't, don't worry about it. But what is that energy you want to bring? What is that one strength or skill you want to leverage in 2024? As you can see behind our members of the coaching team, you can be a spiral lighthouse. You might be able to activate the fireworks in your work. You might be great at bringing different tools together, or perhaps creating a space of groundedness and exploration. Maybe your superpower is around connection. I want you to think about what's the one strength, or even greater than a strength, the superpower that you want to leverage in 2024. All right, you can stay here or you can move on. So here's another sort of snapshot. What do you want to focus on? So again, you might go back to the mountaintop. You might be thinking about practically, tactically, where are those projects? Where are those areas? You might also lean into this imagery and see what is connecting with you today. This little blurb is, what do you want to focus on in 2024? Okay, again, you can stay here, you can move on with us. Bit of a different snapshot here in that focus. What are the pieces of work? Now, you might have different colors around this, you might have different shapes and sizes. What comes to you when you think about the different pieces of work for 2024? We're going to stay here for another bit. This time, I want you to maybe notice, what are the shades? What are the colors? What are the sizes of these different puzzle pieces of your work in 2024? Okay. What will wild success look like? Big picture question here. What will wild success look like at the end or during 2024 for you? And within that wild success, what are your priorities? Maybe your top three, four, or five priorities for the year. These don't just have to be work related. And of course, we know that we don't do this alone. So, what resources do you need? That may be people, that may be money, that may be human resources. I said that already. It may be information. What resources do you need? Right? Who do you want to be in all of this and all that you are planning? Who do you want to be? Who can you be in 2024? Now, thinking about the fundamentals, we're going to do more work on this in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to invite you back in 2 weeks. But let's think, projects. What are some of the ideas you want to be focusing on in 2024? Are there some things that you want to do? Are there some projects that are going to carry forward in that doing category? And ultimately, what do you want to get done? We're going to build on this in a couple of weeks, but just from that mindset of ideas and projects, what are some of those elements you want to be focusing on? If you're familiar with the Kanban, which is what this is, feel free to lay it out in this structure. Again, we're going to build on these in a couple of weeks if you want to join us on November 28th. Back to this
Mhm.
notion of we don't do it alone. Who would you like to partner and collaborate with in 2024? Be bold on this one. They don't have to be people already in your network. Who would you like to partner and collaborate with?
Mm.
And this is one of our final slides. So, if you were to start your vision board, and maybe you've already started it, what are some of the elements you want to put on your vision board for 2024? We're just going to do another 75 seconds, but go with your gut. What do you want to put on your board? All right. So we are going to come back to this again. As I said, 2 weeks from now, we're going to be looking at some of your enablers, your derailers, your iceberg, and the bigger piece of your 2024 goals. So today is just setting the stage. I want to give you one final minute to just perhaps flip through what emerged on your paper today. Flip through, maybe circle things, maybe note key ideas that came up. But before we leave this space, I want to give you one more moment, one more quick burst of reflection. So plans are just plans in a drawer until we take action on it. You took some action today by getting ideas on paper, and I hope that you will maybe put this aside, perhaps percolate on it, maybe even join us later this month. If you are able to join us 2 weeks today, bring this back. We're going to actually move from sort of vision to a bit more of a firm planning stage. And my guess is that things will start to percolate by then. So, as we go to close, I'd love for you to share in chat, or if you feel like you can certainly unmute yourself. What's the one thing that surprised you about this process today? What's the one thing that surprised you about this process today? You can share that with us. You can share it with yourself. I know when I think about, wow, that was less than 30 minutes. By the time we did our welcome intro and then did all that writing, it was about 30 minutes. There are a lot of different tangents that showed up in my vision this year, but I've started laying the foundation, and I'll come back to this. So I think the surprise is it's pretty amazing what emerges in a short amount of time. What was surprising for others on the call? Let me go to chat. I know some of you are popping it in. For Suzanne, it was how simple it is to create some solid and exciting goals. And there's some synergy amongst the answers to different questions. For Kathy, she was surprised that 75 seconds was enough time. And for Christine, what surprised me was how much a calmer me in 2024 came up. Absolutely. There's a lot that can happen. And this is not even the start of the year. For Whitney, that I got so much out of the short time. So bravo to you for taking time to be here with us today. As I said, this has been recorded, so this will go up onto our Effective Group Coach YouTube channel. If you haven't heard, I've been doing a fun little YouTube project the last month, which is known as Coaching Shorts. And they're short, 60 seconds or less ideas, tips, questions for group and team coaches. So you'll find that all over on YouTube. I really hope, as Stephanie has said, that you've got a solid foundation to continue building on. I know many of you are going to be starting to sort of downshift for the holiday season. For those that are in the US, a happy Thanksgiving. Here in Canada, I am always appreciative of two things. We get to have a second Thanksgiving because we do ours in October, but also that it signals, the time to really take time with loved ones. So with that, hope to see you back here on the 28th and enjoy your vision. Take it forward into the world. All right, everyone, be well.
Thank you.
A couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for joining us today.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Same link next time, Jennifer.
Same link, same place, same Zoom line, as I like to say. So bring it
Thank
back
you
in a couple of weeks. All right. Bye, everyone.